Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 28 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Without delay, well, actually, I want to talk with you a little bit first. This week has been the most stressful, the most tiring, and at the same time, the most rewarding week of my EVE career so far. I've made a bunch of new friends. I've saw a side of the game that I never knew existed. I've been doing intense diplomacy all week. Been doing HR. I've been playing CEO online for the past week. I had a blast. So let's start. We'll do with the usual format. I'll talk about, you'll get the network update, you'll get the HR report from the Corp, industrial operation, and then we'll deep dive into politics and all that fun stuff. Without delay, network update. You can see now that the total network between my main character, my alt, and the two corporation, we now have a network total of 2.6 billion ISK, 27.6 or 2.6, 27.6 billion ISK. As you can see, there's like good progression here. Not on my personal network. Actually got down because I've been financing the corporation. The start of the transferring money, like last week, I bought an Athanor. Then I'm injecting cash in the procurement division to seed it, and I cannot run incursion which is my main source of income, when I'm at war. So that's still Corp member more than made up for it, and the Corp here is progressing. Procurement division is progressing. People are contributing more to people since we were at war. A lot of people are helping the war effort, like dropping some mineral, dropping some money. So one person actually did send us $1 million for the Guns R Us War Orphan Fund. Thank you. So that's it for the financial update. HR wise, the Corp now has 70 member. Yeah, so the Guns R Us toy company has 70 member, and the procurement division. So the procurement division now has 24. Some of them are alts. Some of them are main that wanted to play essentially just industry. So the procurement division is our PV. We call it civilian corp. They're the non-deckable corp, and the Toys R Us toy company, Guns R Us toy company, is the main PvP. Is the PvP corp. I wouldn't say the main because both are main. It's the same group. It's just we're just using the game mechanic. If I had the one way to just keep one corp and flag some people as non-deckable, or like a Care Bear flag that you could remove or something, I would do that, just because managing two corp is technically a pain in the butt a little bit. The biggest problem we have with that setup, I would say the only problem we have with that setup, is blueprints, shared blueprints, which can only be in one corp at a time. And we have people that build and that are also in the PvP corp. So, but you see, these are people that do play. Okay, then we get to, well, and even 7 days still playing. So I would say we have a good 40-45 people logging in every day, every 2 days. So that's HR status for the corp. Also, we've taken on 3 new officers in the officer team, and some people that had officer role but were playing a little less because of real life issue are stepping down as officer but staying in the corp. And when they get a chance to play a little more, we'll take them back in the officer core of the corp. What else? Industrial operation. We are almost finished with our charron. We sold 7. We finished 10 saber this week, and we sold them. We're almost finished with the initial job of 20 that we started, and we are almost ready to build an orca soon that we will launch. I don't know what, but we're almost ready for the orca. With the procurement division being staffed now, with people in there, we can run our regular mining fleet again, so our economy is restarting. So on the industrial side, this is good. I had a comment that was asking me how do we manage those share industrial projects. Well, this is actually pretty simple. We have a little sheet like this that we do, and we list the different component. Let's say I want to build, like this is the example from the Saber fleet. Let's say I want to build 20 saber. Well, how many components I need for one? And then we just check the GDA sell price, GDA buy price, and we usually agreed on a buy price that will make profit for members. So we check the build cost of those different items, and we agree on a buy price that will make a profit for the member, but at the same time is low enough that the corp will also make a profit. We can't always do it, but we try to agree on a sell price with the client. Like this was a case where we agreed to a 1.1 GDA price. So what we will do is we calculate our cost and say, okay, well, we can make a profit here for the corp. So we go on our Discord and we say we want build job, and usually this thing is empty first, and we say, okay, we're building a project. We have a project here. We want to build. Who can supply the corp? We agreed with our member to purchase a component at a specific price. People volunteer to take those jobs. If for some reason one job is really not worth producing, we just straight buy it. I mean, let's say the price the corp could offer for one of these items is really, really too low. We'll just go buy, and sometimes it's worth it. So, and then when we pay the members from the corp, and the corp will sell and take the cash. So let's say here we built 20 saber. Well, all in all, that made like 7.5 million each. So that's like 150 mil for the corp. So that's how we manage common like large scale projects. Same thing if we're building an orca. Same thing is, but right now our main bottlenecks are, well, skill for the builder, like a capital component. Not everybody in corp can build them. Prices, because production is ultra competitive right now. Mineral supply. So we got like to deal with all the different bottleneck that we have in production. If nobody in corp would build for themselves, like if we needed to, and the corp would like put everything to produce for the corp, we could easily multiply our output by 5, 6, 7 compared to what we're doing now. Because right now a lot of people are building for themselves because of lack of client. That's one thing. I don't want to build too much to flood the market at low margin. I don't mind taking a contract at 10% if I know I'm going to sell at 10%. But I will not produce to make 10% profit on the market, because once you calculate tax, you calculate the risk, you calculate that you might have to compete to sell, you're going to be losing money. So I don't do shitty logistic for 10% profit. Unless of course I know beforehand that somebody agreed to buy at a specific price and that he will pick up at our station, then for us we're reducing a big part of the investment risk. So at that point, if you come and pick it up, we can agree to a lower margin, obviously, because it's less trouble for us. So it's all part of the negotiation process. So that's it for the industrial part. Now let's talk about the politics, how crazy it was. I told you that Drill Baby had been initially put into reinforcement by Snuffed Out. And then we started talking with Snuffed Out. And we actually turned out they're actually pretty fun guy and pretty friendly once you get to know them. So we had a lot of talk during the week. We did some little thing together, like Poco bashing and stuff. So it was interesting. And when we had the second timer, just the second timer on Drill Baby, that was on Monday. Okay, I'll get my. Do I still have my presentation? Okay, I don't have it here. When we had the second timer on Drill Baby, if you watch the last video, I'll start like at the end of the last video, where Just Let It Happen attacked our Drill Baby drill and put it into push it all the way to haul. After that, we were talking with Snuffed Out, and on the Monday night, there was like a crazy Poco brawl in Yvangier. That Poco brawl was a result of Shadow Cartel ganking me. See? Oh, like, where is my little... Okay. Here you see me, my little retriever, and Shadow Cartel, which brought two sins, one watchman, one revenger, one penter, one rapier. Okay, they wanted me dead, obviously. I think it was just a joke. Okay, they sino-dropped. I'm not even sure if they sino-dropped, but basically I was minding my own business with nobody in system, and boom, instantly you get all these guys on me, and they were like on me. They didn't warp in, they were on me, and boom, I exploded. So I was talking with the Snuffed Out, with my Snuffed Out contact at that time, and I say, "Hey, Shadow Cartel just ganked me." You say, "Okay, well, we're gonna bash all their Poco." so that's how the party started, and there was like a big Poco bash. And they reinforced like every Poco in the system. They came with their fleet and they reinforced every Poco in the system. And on Monday you had the second timer for the Poco, and my phone started ringing when I was at work, with one of my officers saying, "Okay, Snuffed want you to place Poco." And at first I thought, okay, they're gonna bash their Poco and take them. I didn't expect it. I expect them to want us to place Poco. I had stuff to place for 2 Poco in our base. When I arrived, Snuff that bashed the first Poco that was replaced by Shadow Cartel. And then we were ready to actually try to start, and a second Poco was bashed, and I couldn't place it in time. I never placed a Poco in my life, so by the time I started to figure out how to place a Poco, Shadow Cartel, I had already placed it. And for the third one, which is this one here, I actually managed to place it in time with Snuff providing cover. And they basically told us, like, place a Poco. It's better if you have them here, because you're gonna use it more. So they were actually super friendly, and we got like a great relationship with them. They're really chill guy, and honestly, this old story with Snuff started with them reinforcing one of our station, and ended up with I mean, for me, they're friends. So we got a great working relationship, I would say, with them. But honestly, I mean, they are like, they're not a league above us. They're like 2 or 3 league above us. They're so incredibly powerful compared to us. That, I mean, it's a good thing for us that they're friendly. But for my corporation, for our little group here, I mean, we cheer for them every day now, because we're really happy with the relationship we have with them. So that brings us to the second war. The war that we had with Just Let It Happen. When we got to the second timer, we had two stations, because they reinforced one of our ISEC structure where we compress in Charmraw. So they pushed that one. They had pushed that one to armor, and the timer were for the low sec drill, the last timer for low drill baby, and the last timer for our ISEC, the second timer for our ISEC Athenor, were back to back, like 40 minutes between each. We had a fleet of about, we can field about 12 combat pilot now, a little more depending on the time, but usually that's pretty much what we have. 12 combat pilots in cruisers, and we're not a PvP. We're not very far on our PvP progression. So we were waiting in low sec for the last timer of Drill Baby Drill, and for half an hour we were there waiting to see if Just Let It Happen would come and attack. And at the same time, I mean, we live here, so we know the Sino guys from all the corp. So in system, you had Initiative Sino, you had Snuffed Out Sino, you had Shadow Cartel Sino, and you had, I think Pen is out Sino. We're not so sure about that one. So if there was a fight there, and if a Dread show his face on the map, it could very well have ended up in the start of World War B in Yvangier. But that was just a big blue ball fest. So nothing happened there. So the last big show was the Poco Bash, where at some point during the Poco Bash on Monday, they had 192 people in system, more than 50 carrier for a Poco Bash between Snuff and Shadow Cartel. And we're the little ant in all of this between, like, you have the elephant fighting each other, and we're the little ant trying not to get squashed and hoping that the elephant see us in a good light. But anyway, so Just Let It Happen reinforced our station in ISEC and put it into push it to wall also. And then we started talking with them, and it turned out that actually it was most of the war we had first was a big misunderstanding. And when we get to talk with people, turns out that they're actually pretty great guy. And I mean, and Just Let It Happen is an industrial corp. So we were talking industrialist to I mean, they're more than they're I would say an industrial corp with teeth. Okay, they know how to fight. What they can bring to shoot our ISTEC structure, they had like 6 Leshak plus 2 Logi, like nothing that we have the strength to fight against. They're a league above us, obviously, but we got to talk with them and actually start to turned out that they're actually also pretty cool. And I mean, if somebody's looking for like a low sec place to a null sec place to settle, I mean, I'm sure they're a great corp too, and I would recommend you check them out. They're real cool. Anyway, we talked a little bit and said, okay, well, what I wanted to understand what they wanted with our corp, and well, it turned out that the whole thing was like a little bit of a misunderstanding, and so anyway, we agreed to end that war, and we're actually on friendly term with them right now. So and we might even we're actually discussing with our officer to maybe open an office in their area of space and start to build like closer relationship with them. So all in all, this week started with 2 strong corp shooting at my structure, and that we're now friend with them. So this is pretty. But I mean, I can't in half an hour explain like the 1 week of discussion and discussion and talking and getting to know people and trying to find out what they want, like explaining what we're doing, and so there's a lot of, it's a very social game, and that aspect is pretty cool. And me Tanak, I'm starting to have, because since this series started, I've been talking with a lot of people. Like my Discord address book and my in-game address book are starting to have like some big name in them and some powerful people. So I'm starting to be well connected. Actually, I'm starting to get some calls which are pretty I would say high level politics right now, like people asking me, can you put me in contact with that other group, or can you negotiate this for me? And I mean, that's I'm happy to be thriving in that environment, because I get to see like the part of the unseen aspect of Eve. People see the big battle, but they don't necessarily get to see how they're made. And obviously here I'm at a real strange position, because I'm actually a pretty public figure, and many of those dealing are, well, you got to deal with secrets, you got to deal with people don't necessarily want these things exposed on the public sphere, because most of these dealing need some kind of discretion. Well, the people I talk with, I think that they understand that I'm smart enough to know what I can tell you, and smart enough to keep my mouth shut when I need to. I, and because I mean, and it's part of, well, one, my reputation in game, my way to keep my corp alive, uh, and my fun. I mean, if you start blabbering secret, everybody's secret, on the public on the public place, then people will no longer trust you. So I'm some people trust me now, and I'm working to keep that trust. Uh, but at the same time, when I'm talking with you guys and information that I'm giving everybody, that I'm making public, I clear with the contact first, that I can talk about those specific aspect of it. And the way I'm starting to see my corp now, because I said first, and I will say it again and again and again, because people are, I mean, I'm getting offered every week to join a group or another. And honestly, I'm flattered that you guys think that my corp would be a good addition to your group. And that is, and I'm not talking about any one specific offer here, because I'm getting like many every week, and I don't. It's not that I wouldn't enjoy it. Is that the whole point? The whole objective of my corp is to remain neutral. It's not to be aligned, and I don't want to move the corp. I mean, I could, but I don't want to move the corp to null. I don't want to move the corp to a wormhole. I don't want to join an alliance and fight for a side. I'm building innocence in this system, and I know I'm in the center of the action where people are shooting at each other. Well, they can count on us on a few things. Aside from a Poco, because we really like Poco, they can count on us to stay neutral, not sell their secret if they tell us, not be aggressive toward anybody. We're industrial people that want to build stuff and sell stuff to people that buy our stuff. So we're not aligned with one group or another. We're just doing our own little thing here, and we're ready to collaborate with everybody. And I was thinking about the introduction of the Babylon 5 series, a place of commerce and diplomacy. Well, this is what I'm doing with Yvangier right now. I'm talking with people all the time. I'm playing the diplomat. I'm starting to negotiate deal between different factions. I've acted as a trusted third party in transaction. This is so. If other people want to contact me for that, the more the merrier. I mean, the more contact, the more fun I have. That's a part of Eve that I think I will never get tired of. This is something no other game offer on that level. I have never seen any type of MMORPG or any type of game, even as like tabletop RPG. You always say like tabletop RPGs are better than online RPG, like that, than computer RPG, because they're more flexibility. But well, this part of Eve is even deeper, because you got that level of flexibility with so many different actors, so much complexity on the political scale. It is incredible to see that side of the game, and that honestly, I mean, once you get to see that, you understand why that game has been running for 17 years and is still going strong. And for me, this is crazy. So honestly, I mean, like I said, this was the most tiring week because I was almost every at least once an hour for a week I was talking with I had at least a few exchange of word on Discord every awake minute of this week. my phone was shaking all day, but at the same time, man, it's cool. so that's about it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What we're gonna I always like to say what we're gonna do next week. Well, we've ended the war with Just Let It Happen, and I now consider them friends. We still have a war with Black Flag. I did offer to surrender and pay their war cost. I didn't get answer to my email, and I didn't get like an official acceptation of the surrender. So I don't want like to wait like for them to wait like just at the last minute to withdraw, to like accept my surrender just before they have to renew or something. So at that surrender, I don't know if anybody from Black Flag watched the video, but my plan is to withdraw that surrender tomorrow if they haven't accepted it yet, like tomorrow probably at noon my time. And because we'll see, because I mean for now that war hasn't cost it cost us, I mean they did shoot a few of our pilot, but it's not a big impact on us. I mean, it's annoying, but it mostly forced us to up our game and to modernize our corp structure, to separate it in two. The damage they could do has been done, and so if they want to waste 100 million a week just to keep us deck, more fun for them. What else? We're starting to recruit more people that are interested in PvP. What I want is to have at least, I mean, I know that I will not be able to defend myself against a group like Snuffed Out or the Initiative or Pen is Out if they decide to fight me. But more local small power, we have the manpower to start to fight back. A group like we can field 12, 15 pilot maybe. If we can get that to a good number and and start to build a little larger ship, we will be able to at least keep this local system safer, so our client and friend can come and use our structure and basically maintain security and not rely on other too much to defend our own thing that we have. Obviously, we're not nowhere close to being able to fight on that side, but the more I understand it, if we want to grow, and if we want to start to deploy large structure, which is part of our business plan, because we want to get a Tetara with a rigged Tetara to get the maximum low sec refining bonus. We want to get an Asbel to start building combat capital at some point. if we want to go into that type of game, well, those structure become a lot juicier target. So we need to be at least able to field a sizable defense force, even though we're never gonna turn into a military empire. The idea is to have a strong enough force to defend ourselves and not rely so much on other all the time. So that's one thing that we're working on this week. The other thing is we want to like switch our industrial operation back to full strength now that we're most of the war. Well, we had a war, we had structure under siege. We were really busy with that part, and so we want to switch our focus back to building and growing. So that's what you can expect in the coming week. I hope I haven't bored you too much today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, leave them down below. If you want to talk in game, feel free to send me a mail in game. I'm always happy to meet new people and make new friends. So see you guys in games, fly safe, and see you next week. Bye bye.